Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this beautiful and little cloudy day. Welcome to you online, too. We really appreciate you joining us, whether it's now or in a future time. My name is Richard Houston. I'm one of your licensed practitioners, and I'm so excited to be here today with you and sharing. So this month, the topic is whole no matter what. Whole no matter what. And Reverend Teresa is out hiking with the grandkids. And so we have Reverend Emile with us today. Woohoo! So that'll be great. And we also have Crooked Feather doing our music today. Woo! So since this is a contemplative Sunday, which we do every first Sunday of the month, if you'd make sure that your phones are silenced, so as we go through the service today, that we can be in that space together. So we're going to just take a moment and go within and start to bring ourselves into this room in a different way. So we just know that right here, right now, we are blessed, we are guided, we are open to anything and everything that comes through us. We just know that this time together is beautiful, is inviting, is open at the top. We also know that this community is amazing, and in that way, we just feel the energy, the love, the connection right here, right now, with everyone present in this room and everyone else externally. We just feel that beauty. We feel our body just settling into this moment. We feel the groundedness of the floor. We feel the openness in our heart and in our minds. And we just are grateful in this moment. We just let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
Good morning. My name is Diana Wyatt. I have some very special friends here today. Connie, Pierce, and Lauren. Thank you for being my very special guest today, for coming. Thank you. My heart is full, and it's dancing right now. So I'm going to do a song this morning that many of you know, that my beloved friends here haven't heard yet. With today's message being all about all the parts being whole, what more beautiful time to share the Butterfly song. A song I wrote a couple years ago, and I didn't realize at the time I wrote it that every moment of life Well, it's just the perfect space and time. Whether you're all curled up in a cocoon wondering what in the world is going to happen next, or whether you just sprouted wings and you're trying to figure out how to pump them, you are in the perfect space and time for you. And you, in this moment, belong. Not because anyone gave you permission, except yourself. You belong because you say so today. In this perfect space and time, I don't know yet what I need. Apparently, I don't have a guitar. It's really sensitive. I've never been sensitive before. In this perfect space and time, I don't know yet what I need. A tiny clear egg hanging, I got this, G, from a milkweed leaf. Here in this holy now, I'm trusting life somehow. I have all I ever need right here inside of me. In this perfect space and time, it's a caterpillar I climb, devouring leaves and stems. I eat poison for my whims. I may not be ready yet. Soon I'll forget, and then I'll lose my head. Upload new thoughts in its stead. In this perfect space and time, this chrysalis is dark, and I can't see my way to find. It's dark and I'm afraid. I could have run, I chose to stay. And I ain't sure yet how to be, but something knows in me I'm hanging silently in dreams of how flying soon shall be. In this perfect space and time, now I'm hanging right here from my butt, and I'm trying to dry. And it's scary, yes indeed. Man, have you seen these new wings? And I ain't sure yet how to be. Something knows in me I pump my wings with all my might. Be your own witness. Go take flight. perfect space and time. I don't know yet what I need. Right now I trust Spirit right here inside of me. Blessings.
Thank you, Diana. That was awesome. I had the privilege a couple of weekends ago to release 5 butterflies, and I had never done that before. That was very special. All right. So I'm Jane Kyle Yoder, and I have the privilege of being your reader for today. And I'm reading a book, What the Tree Whispered, by Kriya Star Elk Egan. Imagine what would happen if upon awakening we greeted our days by choosing to label them precious gifts. Then, as we danced our morning meditation, we let ourselves feel as though we were flowing with all the angels in the universe. This would leave every cell in our bodies vibrating and happy, all our eyes wide open. Imagine what would happen if, when we walked outside, we chose to label our surroundings heaven, paradise, and beautiful. If we let ourselves believe we were home wherever we were, then allowed our hearts to open. Can you feel the peace and gratitude this would bring? Imagine what would happen if we blessed the earth in this way each and every day, with each and every step we took. Imagine what would happen if we stopped the chatter inside our heads, if our clear, unfettered minds were allowed to rest in the silence, like dewdrops upon new blades of grass, if we chose to label our minds free, original, and creatively limitless, then went out to share our genius with the world. Imagine what would happen if we chose to label our emotional bodies ecstatic, satisfied, fulfilled, empowered, and we experience this to be true. Imagine how that vibration would renew and recharge our physical bodies. All of the feelings of unworthiness would flee, and we would experience our bodies as healthy, growing temples of light. Imagine what would happen if we allowed our hearts to sing joyous, alive songs, and all the words to the songs were yes, until all the melodies harmoniously blended, weaving into symphonies continuous. And we all knew we had a place in the orchestra of life, so we would not ever feel alone. Imagine what would happen if we let go of worrying whether the music of our souls would be received well by others or not. What if we let go of caring what other people thought, that we chose to no longer hide our light? What if we opened beyond fear to embrace every feeling and experience we chose to create in this opera called life? What if, without judgment or resistance, we fully felt it all? The brightest light within us, the darkest dark within us, and all the shades of gray as well. What if we let it all flow through us with loving embracement, then let it all go? Let ourselves be. Then the natural joy and aliveness of spirit flowing through us would play us like a flute until we became the music. With each movement, each breath, and each heartbeat, we would share our soul's melody in the orchestra of life. Beauty would be birthed into form as a reflection of our joy. Imagine what would happen if we labeled our relationships holy, blessed, and perfect. If we allowed ourselves to create deeply loving, growth producing, creative sharings of the most intimate connections, creating bliss on all levels. Imagine what would happen if, when we looked into the eyes of another, we allowed ourselves to see only beauty. Secrets and judgment no longer existed, and we knew in our hearts that all beings are holy. Imagine if we let eternal love be all that was true. Imagine what would happen if we loved ourselves so deeply we chose to let our world reflect this. Imagine if we chose in each moment to be our own best friend, if we held ourselves in gentleness and deep respect, with unconditional love and acceptance. Allow yourself to take a deep breath now and experience how this would feel. Imagine what would happen if we chose to create a willingness to say yes, to open and expand, to receive the infinite blessings that are continuously showered upon us every day in every way. Imagine if there was nothing else to do, nothing else to know, no place to go, nothing to desire, no one to be. Everything was perceived as the circle, whole and complete, no beginning and no end. Everyone was perceived only as I am, and we are connected eternal as family in the light of love's omnipotence.
Thank you, Jane. I want to borrow that book. So apparently we got to change a box out here. Thank you, Jane. So staying in line with what seems to be the theme of this morning, I have a song right now that's titled, I Am Light. And there's a part that everyone is going to help me sing today, and many of you know this part. And this is your part, okay? Ready? I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Okay? Now, your job is to completely ignore everyone around you. Doesn't matter how anyone sounds, how loud or how softly. If you see a tear, doesn't just, you are in your own world knowing. What are you knowing now? I am live. Gosh, y'all are brilliant. I received a card this morning. I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. I am not mistakes I have made, or any of those things that cause me shame. I am not the pieces of all those dreams I left behind. What am I? I am not the color of my eyes. I am not my skin on the outside. I am not my race. I am not my age, my soul inside. What are you? Divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. You are a star, a grand piece of it all together. I am I am Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Diana. My work is done. What else is there to know? Oh. So it looks like we all survived 4th of July, didn't have any untoward accidents or any of those things. I didn't get my message to Dan this week. Somehow there was a crossing of wires mostly at my end, so I will spring it on you now. My title for today was going to be Any Major Dude Will Tell You. And Steely Dan fans know that's a song from probably early 70s, maybe? Yeah. That goes, any major dude would have the heart surely to tell you, my friend. Any major dude would have the heart surely to tell you. Any minor world that breaks apart falls together again. And when the demon is at your door, in the morning it won't be there no more. Pam is singing along with me. Thank you. And this struck me because Jan and I read the daily guides in the Science Mind magazine almost every day. Sometimes we miss a day. And we read one, and then I heard that song later that same morning, and I said, the next time I get invited to talk, that's going to be my title. And wouldn't you know that later that day, Teresa called me and said, can you speak on July 5th? So, as this is our contemplative Sunday, would you take a moment, close your eyes. And one of the things we did in practitioner and ministerial training when I was going through is we did these timelines where at some point in the timeline, whatever your plan was stopped happening and something else happened. And then we were asked to write and all the branches that developed as a result of that. So if you just take a moment, close your eyes, and allow yourself to sort of review either recently or long past a time when something happened that changed your world, where you felt like, oh my God, my world has fallen apart. And then move forward from that moment and look at what happened next. Was there a rebuilding? Was there a new world? Was there that world that came back together again? Or is it still unfolding? It's an interesting process. And sometimes we get stuck feeling like it has to go back the way it was. But just like the rubber band, I think you've probably all heard this analogy that when you stretch a rubber band out, it can't go back to its original size. Well, we're all elastic like that. When we get stretched, however we might get stretched. Sometimes the way that world breaks apart is very, very positive. Sometimes it might be something that just feels like, oh my God, what am I going to do after this? And sometimes, and I've met people in counseling who are stuck wanting to get back to what it was before it fell apart. And somehow that just can't happen. And I go back to Steely Dan again because they have another song called Home at Last. And in that song, I don't know if you know the concept, back in the early days of shipping and so forth, if there was a big storm, the captain would tie himself to the mast of the ship. So when the storm ended, he'd still be on the ship. Now, this song, Home at Last, says, surely the danger on the rocks has passed, but am I still tied to the mast? Soon I will be home at last. So where are we in this process? This process of change is always happening, is always unfolding, is always moving. A number of us are going through changes right now that we didn't expect, that we wondered what we're still wondering what it's going to look like when we get to the other end of whatever that road might look like right now. We have some idea. We have a inkling in there somewhere. We have an idea of what we might want it to look like, but you know, I've never liked it, but it is kind of true. God laughs while man plans. And I don't think he's that spirit or whatever is laughing. I think what I used to have as my tagline on my emails for a long time was, the universe is constantly conspiring for my highest good. And I firmly believe that. Constantly. I may not understand what that good is looking like in the moment, but when I look back at those timelines that I described, I see things that have unfolded in ways that I would have never expected, that have brought me to places that I would never expected to be. And I have nothing to complain about. So how do we see this? And how do we see it in other people as well? I think there's something where we think that sometimes people are broken, or maybe they need to be healed or fixed or whatever, and we have to figure out, what do they want? What is it that will serve them best? What is it that they may or may not have identified in this moment that will bring them forward? Because, quite frankly, I can't do your work. Whatever you need to do, y'all need to do it yourself. That's just the way. I can provide, and the practitioners here, and Reverend Teresa can provide guideposts and guidelines and things that you might address and what you might not want to hang on to in a way that restricts your movement forward. But the work we all need to do, the progress we all need to make, is what we need to make in our own hearts, our own being, and our own understanding. And so these daily guides over the last 2 months have been pretty much inundating us with a love message. The power of love, the love that can heal, the love that can bring us forward and bring us into new places. And the message that I've been getting and been talking about is that love heals all, holds us together, and it must be the eyes of love through which we see. Well, if we're seeing through the eyes of love, that means we've got to see everything and everyone through those eyes. And there may be some people that you can identify in your picture of the world that's hard to do. It's the struggle I started to have was, I'm going to read here because I might not get it right, is how do I see the discord in the world and the leaders that appear to be responsible for all that discord through the eyes of love and understand it as created out of spirit itself? How do I do that? People have asked me, how do I do that? I'm working on it. I think it requires us to be bigger than we've ever been before, to expand beyond, to understand that even though it looks like it's falling apart or going crazy or whatever labels you want to put on it, when the demon is at your door in the morning, it won't be there no more. It's coming back. It's just not going to come back in the way that we were loving before. It's going to come back in a new way that we'll learn to love in a new way and learn to thrive in a new way and learn to grow in a new way. And what we have to know through all of that is that we're each whole, perfect, and complete. I used to do prayer ministry for Agape when we first moved to Florida, and Saturday mornings I would get calls, and I picked up one call, and a gentleman was feeling sort of uneasy in his life. He felt like maybe things were falling apart, maybe his health was falling apart. And when anybody asked me for prayer around health, I usually talk about that part of them that is whole, perfect, and complete, that is seeking to express as the wholeness of their being. And I said that in the prayer for this gentleman, and he said, "I'm perfect?" And I said, yes, you are. He says, wow. And he said, that's wonderful. And he got off the phone and said, thank you so much. It was like the rest of the day, I was like, oh, that was really fascinating, you know. But that idea of I am whole, perfect, and complete, let's all just say that together. I am whole, perfect, and complete. Now close your eyes, put your hands over your heart. I am whole, perfect, and complete. So, as you know that for yourself, as you know that is the potential of everyone that you encounter, that they too have that potential within them. So you think about that. So we all, as you walk down the street and you see all the people who look around this room, we all have that God-given, Spirit-given potential to be whole, perfect, and complete in this and every moment. And what do we need to get there? It takes a certain amount of work. Holmes says in what we refer to lovingly as the textbook, that there's no process of healing. He says there's a process in healing. And I was reminded of this in preparing for last week's practitioner panels, because one of the papers submitted by the practitioner that one of the practitioners that Richard and I and Kathleen interviewed included this quote from Holmes, that is, the process in healing is the mental work and the time it takes the practitioner to convince him or herself of the perfectness of his patient or her patient. Holmes wrote this in 1926, remember, it was a different day and time. And the length of time it takes the patient to realize this perfectness. So first, the person doing the prayer has to know that truth, has to know it's absolutely there for that individual, and then that person needs to know it for themselves. And sometimes that will take more than once, but it does take that work of healing our own mental processes. Holmes goes on to say, we seek to heal, Ernest, men and women's mentalities, knowing that to the degree in which we are successful, we shall also be healing their bodies. So mentalities, we heal the mind, heal the body, heal that. We just have to heal ourselves, and we move forward in this. Also from the daily guides, our community spiritual leader, Sunny Cantrell Smith, she wrote the guides for I believe it was the month of June, and she said this: healing often unfolds through small, consistent acts of integrity, presence, and gentle understanding. Compassion allows us to meet differences with empathy. Forgiveness dissolves barriers that once kept hearts apart. Think about that. Forgiveness dissolves barriers that once kept hearts apart. If we're not forgiving, we're blocking something, right? So when this work that we all have to do, and there's always more to do, there's more perfectness to realize, there's more wholeness to realize. I will say that in my life, I know it's hard for me to do my own physical healing. I need somebody else's belief to help me with that, but I can do it for yours. So if you just think about that healing process. Just a minute here. Wait a minute, I had another quote. John Waterhouse, who was the community spiritual leader in, I think, the first 5 or 6 years of the merged organizations. He's now the senior minister over in Fort Lauderdale. He and his wife Barbara were up in Asheville, North Carolina for 30 years or more. And he brought this quote from Holmes's Creative Mind and Success: "Expectancy speeds progress. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy." Expectancy. What do you expect? It's almost like expecting a baby, right? Expecting a new birth, a birth of the new you, the new way you express on the earthly plane. No matter how much good you are experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. How about that? No matter how good it is today, how great it feels today, try this magic of expectancy, and you will discover a dramatic side to your work that gives full vent to constructive feeling. Then Dr. John, because he's Reverend Dr. John Waterhouse, expectations shape and direct this, and speed. Expectations shape the direction and speed of our experience in life. When we expect something good to happen, your other thoughts, feelings, and actions tend to align with our expectation. My mother used to call, and she did this more than once. I said, "You know, what's up, Mom?" And she'd say, "Oh, I was worried something happened to you." And I said, "Mom, if you're going to worry about me, worry that something good is happening." Think about that. If you're going to be concerned about somebody, don't be concerned that something bad is going to happen, that, oh my God, they're getting in a car, maybe they'll have an accident, or oh my God, blah, blah, blah. How about, oh my God, maybe they're getting in the car and they're going to have the best road trip ever. They're going to just love every moment. Joel Goldstein says, don't wish somebody safe travels, because that opens the door for the possibility they could have unsafe travels. Think about that. It's like, so sometimes I don't know what to say to people, because I've read a lot of Joel Goldsmith, and he's kind of like very hard line about this stuff. Don't say that stuff. Don't open the door to that at all. But expectation, what do we expect? So when something happens, do you expect your life to get better again, to come back together again, for that demon to be gone in the morning, or do we expect the bad to continue? What do you expect? We need to look inside and what we expect. I've had several times in my life where things just, excuse the language, went to hell in a handbasket. And somehow, and for some reason, even before I knew about this teaching, I knew I'd be okay. When I got married a month after my 19th birthday with the baby on the way, somehow I knew everything was going to be okay. That baby is just about 57 years old. She's okay. But what do we expect in life? What do we expect from the spirit that's within us, the power that's within us? Somehow I always knew there was a power. I just didn't know what the heck it was. Then I met Michael Beckwith, and oh my God. We walked out of our first service at Agape in 1996. Mick looked at each other and said, "What was that?" I mean, imagine every chair in the room, 750 people. That particular day was Choir Sunday, 250 people in the choir loft. Yeah, 250. Later on, I found out most of them were practitioners and ministers. So, I mean, the consciousness of that group of people was like, would lift the roof off a building. And then there were people walking around with boxes of Kleenex down the aisles. And somebody would say, put their hand up, and they'd hand the box out, and they'd get the Kleenex because they'd be crying during the service. It was like, what was that? Well, we kept going back to try to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think I got my order of pages messed up. Oh well. Also running out of time. So let's go with, close your eyes again. And let's look back at that situation that we were looking at earlier. And see if you can identify your expectations coming out of whatever occurred. And what your expectations were over time as you moved farther and farther away from that actual point of that event occurring. And if it's something that's not resolved yet, here's where you can do some of your work, is look at your expectations and how might you change those expectations, or if it's an expectation, change it in a way that will serve you more than whatever you think is unfolding right now, if you're not happy with that. It's all about setting intention. So, and then we want to keep our attention on our intention. So if you were intending on driving cross country, you wouldn't let your mind wander and have your car just turn off on any particular road going, north or south instead of due west on the highways that you want to travel on. So we got to keep our intentions clear and keep our attention on that intention. Keep our focus and our expectation then that will unfold. And then we have to know that it may not unfold exactly the way we scripted it out. But we can deal with the modifications knowing we're moving in the direction of. And maybe it's something that needs to be healed and just simply developed within ourselves. So we've got knowing that you're whole, perfect, and complete all the time. Being clear on your expectations and that your expectations are in the direction that you want to move. And that your expectations becomes part of your intention, and that your attention is focused on that intention, and that you move in the direction of it. One of the things I learned to say early on in my practitioner training was treat, in other words, do a spiritual mind treatment, and move your feet. One of our jokes was, that we'd get calls in the prayer line. We had a 24-hour prayer line in LA. Somebody says, I'm looking for a job, and I'm looking for a job, and I just can't seem to, I've been praying and praying, and I can't seem to find a job. We'd say, well, what are you doing to find a job? Well, I'm just praying and praying and praying. Well, have you thought of looking in the classified section and maybe going out for a job interview? Oh, really? Seriously, conversations like that. So if you're praying and praying and praying, what are you doing moving in the direction of your intention? What are you doing moving in the direction of your expectation? Serena's giggling. I'm trusting that you're not the one that's not going out and looking in the classifieds. But when you think about it, it's like, oh, where's the me in this? Where's the me in this? We got to pour that in. So let's just take all this into a prayer. So I am just so grateful to be here today to share this message, to share this word, to know that I'm in this beloved community that just feeds every spiritual cell of my being. And I know that as we are gathered together, we're gathered together in that infinite oneness that is forever present, that is the love intelligence that governs the universe, and that we are guided by and supported by a spirit that is omnipresent, omniscient, and omniactive, flowing and moving in every moment, flowing and moving in, through, and as each one of us, as the wholeness, as the perfection, and the completeness of each one of us. So that as we rise up into that knowing, as we rise up into accepting that as the truth of our being, that we can only expect more and more from this thing called life, this thing called spirit, knowing absolutely that the universe is conspiring wholeheartedly with great love and great joy for the highest good of every aspect of our lives and our being. So with this knowledge, I simply say thank you. I am grateful. I know that this is the truth and that it is indeed already done. So we release it together into the infinite knowing that it is indeed, again, already done. And in that knowing, we say together, and so it is. Thank you all. Thank you.
Wow. Perfect, whole, and complete. Thank you, Rev G. Wow. And right here, where we are, where we sit, where we stand, guess what it is? Holy.
Whoops.
And I have that song right here.
All right. Cords and straps.
This
are all
is an
tangled
indigenous song that I really enjoy doing, and I kind of played with it and had some fun today. Shania Knoll, Where I Sit is Holy. Where I sit is holy, holy is the ground. Forest, mountain, river, listen to the sound. Great Spirit circle all around me. Who I am is holy, holy are we. Body, thought, emotion, connecting you and me. Great Spirit circles all around me. What I do is holy, holy is my way. Work and play together, celebrate the day. Great Spirit circles all around me.
right. And now is our time for tithes and offerings. So if you'll just take your tithe, put it near your heart, and just know this truth with me. And for those online, there'll be multiple ways to share your tithes today too. We just know that we are blessed in this moment by this community, by this presence, by this teaching. We also know that within our hearts that the abundance is available right here, right now. It flows in and through us. We just see that money, time, talent, all of this abundance is available right here, right now. And we share our good both with this community and with the universe, speaking those words and putting those feet into action that we are in the flow of life. We are in the flow of abundance, and we just open up our minds, our hearts, and our wallets to the beautiful presence of all there is. And together we just say, and so it is.
I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
All right. And now Lisa has some announcements to share with us.
Good morning. So, Rev G, wow. Really, really wow. Once again. And then to couple it together with Diana. I mean, this is now a double wow, right? I mean, wow. What a morning. And then we have a triple wow, the reading that Jane did. I mean, I'm like going, the whole morning to me was just like one to the next, and wonderful. Just wonderful, wonderful. So do we have any new people here, first-timers? Great, great, great. So if you haven't already received your gift, please see one of the greeters or things like that. We're so happy that you're here with us. The newsletter is one of our most important things because it tells you what's going on for the week coming up. It only comes out once. You can sign up for it back at the table or on our website, cslculturalcoast.org, or our Facebook page. Definitely, be informed about what's happening. The July and August Science of Mind magazines are in the back. You can go ahead and purchase them. So all of that is happening there. Richard is our practitioner of the day. So you can meet him back at the screen if you need a little help, you need a little support or anything like that. You also want to keep things going well. Things are going well, you want to keep them going well. Talk to Richard about that too. It's all the things of keeping in the flow and highest and best and all of that. Ongoing weekly things is that our Wednesday night spiritual living group is a free event. It's online hybrid. Jim Grove will be taking care of that. You discuss one of the articles in Science of Mind. The Friday night Reverend Diana's Heart, Mind, Spirit Recovery will not be meeting this week. It'll resume the next week. So on the 10th, no. On the 17th, yes. Everything will then be running as usual. The first Monday of the month, we have Metaphysics and Other Neat Stuff movie night, which is tomorrow, our first Monday of the month.
And so we will be meeting at the Renaissance Rev G's condominium building and everything, literally right across the street here. The video that we're going to be watching is Restoring Living Systems, the Key to Survival. So we're hoping that this is going to spark a lot of good conversation and everything. David Immerman is the one who's involved with this very, very much. So it's going to be a great, great discussion and everything like that. Sign up for all the events so we know who's coming so we can plan appropriately, okay? I think everything else is at the tables. That's it. And please stay for conversation and refreshments and everything like that. Yes. Greg's brought me. Deborah's brought mangoes again.
In the basket.
Okay. Wonderful. Greg and Deborah, I've had the mangoes. They are spectacular. So, yes, thank you. Thank you. How wonderful. Wonderful. All right, so thanks, Greg and Deborah. So yeah, please stay for coffee, conversation, and everything like that afterwards. And now Diane and Rev G and Frankie, take us on out. Thanks so much.
All right, you all know this song. So this is a song that we're all going to sing together as we go out on into our hearts. So Jane brought it up in her reading. Imagine. Our imaginations are powerful. If we can conceive it and then believe it right here, what happens? We see it. So let's imagine some good stuff right now. Imagine no heaven. It's easy if you try. There's no hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Ooh. Imagine no countries. That's not hard to do. There's nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You can call me a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Look around. I know someday they join us, and the world is as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if we even can. There's no need for greed. What is hunger? A brother sisterhood for all. Imagine all the people we're sharing all the world. You can call me a dreamer. I'm not the only one. I know someday they join us, and the world lives as one. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. Come back next week for the practitioner ceremony and hear the story of how Crooked Feathers came to be. I love you. I wait to see you next Sunday. Thank you. Love you.